Hi, this is Jody from Poppy Winkle, and I'm so excited to share my newest journaling page. I love it. I love it. And it was super easy, and you probably have everything that you need in your house right now. So let's get started. So here it is. Ta-da! I know it looks super complicated, and like it took forever, and the lettering did take a while, but it's just squares. Each of these is one square, and we're going to make it in a masterboard format. So we decorate the whole thing all at once. Some of these I left blank because I know I'm going to think of books that I should have put on here. So I did leave some blank, and this is the part that is really fast. So once I went ahead and started adding this, that took longer. But this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, these came so together so quickly, and they look great just like this. Now for the backgrounds of the squares, I went through a magazine and pulled out just colors I liked, pages with colors I liked. And the reason I'm doing a magazine, you could certainly do cardstock or paper, but I did a magazine because it's very thin. The pages are thin, and I don't want to bulk it up. I just want the color. I don't need the strength at this point. And another thing I did was I'm going to need a lot of writing because I'm going to work on book titles and authors, and so there needs to be writing. And I'm not real fond of my handwriting, so I thought grids. This magazine happened to have some grids in it. And so grids will keep my writing under control. And so I pulled out a lot of grids, and I did keep them separate. So these are the background pages. These are the grids. And then I also went through and pulled out some letters. Again, because I'm going to be making titles and names, and these letters will also help. I think this was mostly a circular that came. And by the way, the magazines can be free as far as I know. Our library has, after their periodicals become expired, I don't know, in 2-3 months or however, whenever it is, they put them all into a basket and people can take the old magazines. So if you don't subscribe to magazines, check out your library because maybe you can get some free ones there. Here's the last page I did. We're going to be talking about favorites, my favorite books for this part. And I had reinforced these two pages with just a piece of glued down paper bag. And I'm not going to do that here because this page is reinforced on this side, and I'm going to reinforce this page on this side. And again, to reduce bulk, I don't need to also reinforce both of these pages again. So I'm going to leave this one unreinforced. Just do it here instead. And this page was blank. You know, in the book, that's how this page was. And this one had writing on it, and so I just took some craft paint in a off-white. It's definitely not the same color, but I just wanted to cover over these lines or these writing things, these words, because I wanted it to look sort of similar. I don't think of this page and this page, I think of it as a spread together. So I wanted to start from a general similar location, a similar look. My plan is to do 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4 across. And I chose 4 because I know this is 5.5 inches. And I wanted them to be a little more than an inch each. And so I will tell you at the end exactly how I figured that out. But that's boring. I'll do that at the end. Now all I'm going to do is cut up a bunch of squares out of the pretty colors I like. into the size that I have predetermined, and I'll show you how to do that if you want to be kind of exact about things. And if not, you know, you can put spaces in between the squares. You can, you know, just figure it out willy-nilly however you want to do. You don't have to do the math if that's not your thing. But it's definitely my thing. I was going to try to do 2 at a time, but they're a little slippery. Yeah, I'm just going to do 1 at a time. So where am I here? That's my magic number. And then that's all I'm going to do is a bunch of squares. So here's a good little amount to start with. It's probably way more than I'm going to need for my pages, but I like to have a little extra. Inevitably, as you're cutting these squares, you're going to be left with some scrap pieces. And I like to save them because I might want to make, you know, a stripe or something to decorate, you know, a similar page. So just save the little extras because you might need them. Here's the part where we get the masterboard kind of thing together. I'm just going to take a little bit of double-sided tape. Now, I'm sure there's different kinds of double-sided tape, and yours might not be as easy to use as mine. I would definitely test it because magazine pages are thin, and so what you don't want to do is stick this down and then have it stick, and then you can't pull it off without ripping it. So anyway, you're just going to put a piece of double-sided tape on each of these. They don't have to be aligned perfectly. The point is just to get some stuff on all of them easily at the same time. So all you do is do that. Now see, when I pull mine up, it just comes off. It just comes off without ripping my square. So definitely test that first before you get into all this. So I'm thinking about this as if it's a masterboard. So I'm not really fussing too hard about what I'm doing, which is why it gets easy. And so I've got some stamps, and I'm just going to put little pieces of them on some of these squares. I'm not trying to cover the whole thing up. I'm just trying to add some interest. And if you don't have stamps, then you can use some of my other ideas, because this is going to be kind of a multi-pronged thing. I'm trying to just get edges, or you know, get a little bit of all 4 in one part. I'm about done, I think. So now that I have some stamps all scattered around, I gathered some stickers. They're obviously too big for these squares, but I'm just going to put a little piece of them on, because nothing's funnier than a fish head. And then later I'll just cut that off. Here's a stamp I cut in half. I'll put one here. Put one somewhere else. Here's a butterfly, or probably a moth sticker. I'm going to stick that right there. So each piece gets a little bit. I've decorated all of these squares in literally a matter of minutes, and I'm not considering them done, but if you want to consider them done, all you would have to do is peel them up from the little sticky on the back, trim any overhang, and then start putting them into your journal wherever you want to use them. Here I just laid them on the page. I didn't glue them down. I just laid them so you can see them in a grid pattern, all butted up against each other. That's one way to do it. Here I put them along, just along one edge with a little space in between. So those are some of the ideas of what you can do. I am making a list journal, and this is going to be little squares of all of my favorite books and the authors. So I've got another step to do. I'm going to add lettering. Other things you can add are circles and small little pieces, little stickers. I say circles because there's so many squares that I think circles would look good in among the squares. So I have some eyelets. If you don't have the right color, all you need to do, if you have silver or white, you just need to take an alcohol marker and take the color you want. This was a white one. And go around the edge of it. This one's a sticker. The green one's a sticker. This one is a brad. Again, if you don't have the right color brads, you can use an alcohol marker to color a lighter one. That's one of the eyelets. And here's just another sticker I cut out. So as promised, here is the math of how I decided how big to make my squares. The page is about 5.5 inches across. I wanted my squares to be over an inch, so I decided to make 4 squares. So 5.5, the width of the page, divided by 4 equals 1 inch, 0.375 inches. So we know we want each square to be 1 plus 0.375. We know what 1 is. There it is on the ruler. But what's 0.375 when we have these 16ths here? We have 16 lines, and we want to know how many 16ths equals 0.375. And if you remember algebra, you just cross multiply. So 1 times question mark. So our answer equals 0.375 times 16. 0.375 times 16, which equals 6. So we want 6 of these lines. So we want 1 plus 6. 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right there, right under, two lines under 1.5 inches. So that's when I'm putting it on my trimmer, that's the line I'm going for. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you give it a try and want to let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear about it. You can use this for so many different ideas. You know, you can just use the pictures. You could do the alphabet. I mean, no matter whatever kind of journal you're on, I'm sure you could find a way to utilize these awesome squares. So thanks again for watching, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Bye.